Hi everybody. Today's episode of Take a Sip is titled Always Teachable. I'm going to start by talking about the story of Job. Job was a man in the Bible who was very prosperous. He was rich. He had a lot of things and a lot of blessings, and he lost everything all at once. It was very devastating for him to lose those things, and he had several people come to him who came to his rescue in a sense that they wanted to actually encourage him. When they came to him, they were very heartbroken because by that time his health had been affected to the point where he was so sick and covered with sores that they didn't even recognize him. So here come these four people, and the Bible mentions that three of them are his friends, and they came to console him. And sometimes in life, people will try their best to meet you where you are and to try to help you get out of your circumstance, but then they don't always do a good job of it because they're human, and sometimes things are said that should not be said, and they have the intent to help you, but their words don't actually help you at all. Or if they do, they don't help you to the extent that they should. Excuse me. So I wanted to focus on Elihu. Job had three friends that came to him, and those three friends took their time, and they spoke about what they felt was wrong with Job and why they think this happened to him and all this other stuff. Well, Elihu was the fourth person that spoke to them, or spoke to Job. Excuse me. Elihu was the youngest person that came and spoke to Job. And one of the things that I want to point out about Elihu is not only that he was the youngest person, but he chose to actually talk at what I believe is the right time. So we're going to pick up in Job chapter 32, verses 6 to 9, and that's what I'll read. It says, "So Elihu, son of Barachel, the Buzite, said, I am young in years, and you are old. That is why I was fearful, not daring to tell you what I know. I thought, age should speak, advanced years should teach wisdom. But it is the spirit in a man, the breath of the Almighty, that gives him understanding. It is not only the old who are wise, not only the aged who understand what is right." Excuse me. I want to point out that Elihu actually spoke to Job from chapters 32 to 37, and that's a lot of talking. After Elihu spoke, that's when God spoke. And I actually want to point out one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible, which is Job chapter 38, verse 4. And again, this is God speaking. It's very short, but it's powerful. "Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation?" In a nutshell, excuse me, we all expect young people to be teachable. But in reality, all of us should be teachable. There are many things in life that I have learned from my own kids, and I am very grateful for the things that I have learned from each and every one of them. Sometimes with old and young people, I actually look at their actions and I learn what not to do. The point is, again, all of us should be teachable. My encouraging scripture is coming from Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7. And it says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline." The same God that used a donkey can use a young person to teach us. If you want to hear more about the donkey situation, you'll have to actually stay tuned for part 3. And if you want to hear more about Job, then you can stay tuned for part 2.